Hey everybody, I think this is the first time I've done a YouTube live video. So I've done Instagram lives and Facebook lives, never done it on YouTube. So uh, this has been a doozy of a day. So I'm glad to get in the studio and kind of, decompress a little bit. Uh, Painting is it's what I do for fun. It's what I do for work. It's how I decompress. Um, it is life. Painting is life. Art is life. But so anyway, I am working on a canvas here. This is 24 inches by 36 inches, so it's a pretty decent size. And um, man, today was a big day. We had a memorial service for my aunt who passed away recently, and that was it's one of those things where my cousins and I said to each other, "Man, this was great to get to see each other. Let's do this again when it's not such a sad occasion." So hopefully we can get together again soon. Under more cheerful circumstances. So I am I am gonna get to work on this. That was a hair from a brush. Okay. So what I do is I I take the white canvas and I put something called gesso on it, and then I do the brown, this kind of tan color. It's called burnt sienna. I use that to ground it, to just give it kind of a base. And it's interesting. I start seeing patterns and stuff in here. I don't always follow that, but this is a good start. For this, gotta get some gloves on. And I put on gloves not because it's toxic or anything. I mean, it can be. Some of the pigments can be. But the big thing, the most important thing though, the big thing for me is I want to make cleanup easier. I don't have to scrub so hard. All right. Although it usually comes out, when I wash my hair. That's the best way to get paint off of my fingers. All right. Well, let's get started. And a lot of times I will, when it's at this stage, a lot of times I start drawing on it with the paint tube. Kind of, it's faster than just, mixing up all the paint and everything. So I think I want to use kind of a cantilever design. That's where you get a lot of something over here and then a little something over here. And I like working with the golden mean. Well, it's not a true golden mean, but it's I mean, I don't measure it out that meticulously, but it's the rule of thirds. So this is going to be my main element right here, and we'll get a little bit down here. And then I think we're gonna create kind of not really a horizon per se. All right. This will all make sense in just a minute. So then I'll just spray some water on it. here's where it gets interesting. Let's take this is a blue shop towel. Get some water in it. Oh, it's got red in it. That's interesting. Because I used it on a bunch of red earlier. But I think that'll be cool. That's good because I'm gonna have a lot of red in this composition here. One thing I find myself doing is I try to not get too much paint on the canvas at once because I like to build up layers. I see a lot of artists go in real thick right off the bat, and I don't do that. I don't know why. I just don't. It looks really muddy because of the way the orange and the kind of blue purple are mixing. But I mean, I will come in and brighten that up a lot later. love the way this magenta and orange work together. And it has nothing to do with Virginia Tech. Although I've always thought their burgundy and orange color scheme was pretty cool. Here's where it's going to get interesting. This is airbrush medium. It makes the paint flow without losing too much of the pigment. And then come in with water. This is going to get really interesting. And I'll be honest, the way I work, it looks really messy. I mean, it's it's messy, but it works. It works for me. Then once all this gets dry, I'm going to start adding in the light colors. I have an idea. I did a small sketch a while back, and I'm kind of referring to it over here. I've got it. It's about this big, and it's actually a couple of little paintings that go together. And I'm working a similar concept into this large canvas. So you've got the orange, got the blue, and then another red-orange shape that echoes that. Then more blue down here, but this is going to turn kind of gold, actually. there's going to be a lot of stuff that gets put on there, and then it gets covered up, and then it gets scraped off. So there's a lot of pushing and pulling happening here, a whole lot. That's just kind of how the process goes. I like the intensity of that color, but I don't want it real thick and coming off the canvas like that. So it's going to be a little bit of a challenge here. So it's always a push and pull. Here comes the gold. It's got too much blue in it. And I really like this tone that emerges when you mix that blue with that gold. That around. lighter gold color away from the rail right there. I don't want to pull this orange into it. I want to pull this over it, if that makes sense. So that blue, a lot of that blue is coming into here. Maybe I should have let this dry before doing all this, but I think it'll look sharp. Just warm this area up. This is how I get all those layers. I do all this, let it dry, come back and do more, let it dry, and then they kind of, the layers all kind of end up intertwined with each other. got the water up here too. Get some interesting drips going. Looks like I picked up some of that orange here and brought it up here. That can be interesting. I don't like to make my paintings too smooth, or they feel dead to me. The areas like this were getting too smooth. I like having drips and texture in it. So texture for me, I think, gives it a whole lot of interest. It makes it just way more interesting than when there's not a lot of texture. I want to carve out some really interesting shapes around the focal point, and then the big, the big thing and the small thing. Yeah. But there's so much water on there now. I'm afraid it'll really mess things up if I do. And I don't want to muddy this boundary here. I'll do a little bit there. This is going to get lighter. Yeah. I think we're off to a good start. I'm pretty happy with how it started. Very colorful, very vibrant. I'm gonna get this. Yeah, there we go. Get a little bit of this color in here. Yeah. That's already starting to dry just a little bit. But look at that, the drip eats away that top layer so you see what's underneath. That's what I like about this technique. You get all the layers, all the depth. And a little too much of this top area got eaten off from the drips. So I'm just gonna smooth it out just a little bit. Yeah. I'm liking that. That may be looking a little too smooth right now, but I think it's a good bottom layer, I think. Yeah, this will take a few more layers, a few more sessions to really get this all built up, and then this is going to be, this will probably be a lot smaller, but I think it'll be, I feel good about this. I really like the colors here. Paint all on my hands. So, yeah. Okay. I feel good about this. Thank you for joining me. I hope everybody is having an awesome Saturday night. If it's not Saturday night, I hope you're having a great day wherever you are. So take care. I will see you soon. Bye.